Hello everybody, I'm here today to make some cranberry pork chops with you. I'm Debbie and this is my mom Vera, and we're doing this together. Every evening my mom, who lives next door, we live next door to her, she comes over and we have supper together. And I was thinking it would be really easy, or much easier on me, if I had something when I'm working all day. I can just throw something in the crock pot so that I don't have to think about supper. And some of y'all folks call it dinner, but we call it supper. And Mom has a hard time with these modular mates. But anyway, so I wanted to do a series on cooking small. So we're making cranberry pork chops, and so we're only going to make 3 pork chops worth of this stuff. So some of you are to the point in your life where your kids are gone and you can learn to cook smaller. I'm having a hard time. I had 5 kids, 5 daughters, and I'm having a hard time learning to cook smaller. But anyway, this recipe is cranberry pork chops, and it calls for a half a can of cranberries, 1/8 a cup of honey, and 1/8 a cup of minced onion, and that's all there is to it, and your pork chops. So what we're going to do, since we have to open up a whole jar of cranberries, we're going to make it times 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up the cranberries and get half out.
Don't you want to put the pork chops in first?
Nope, I want to mix all this up first. I want to mix all this up, and then I'll put it in and kind of massage them together. This is home canned cranberry sauce, and I need just half of it. And my husband likes it with the berries more whole, so that's what this is. So I'm just kind of guessing what half is. All right, so it says 1/8 of a cup of onion, but I don't have 1/8 a cup measure, so we're just going to get half of the 1/4 cup measure. And if we get over, that's okay, because everybody likes onion. And here's a trick some of you may or may not know. If you're going to measure honey, spray your measuring cup. Makes this honey slide out easier. So we're going to measure out our honey, approximately 1/8 of a cup. And honey, we love honey, so if we get a little more, that's not a big deal. Ta-da! Look at that. Look how nicely that's coming out of there. And I am going to use my little spatula and get the rest of it out. But right now, okay, now what I want to do is I just want to kind of mix this up a little bit. And then Mom's going to get out 3 pork chops, and we're going to put them in here. And actually this recipe was for more pork chops. Those are big, thick pork chops. So she's going to get 3 pork chops and put them in there. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to close up the bag. This is a big bag. I just need one of those. Oh, I should tell you, this is a crock pot liner. And it is, that's why it's so big. But I figured it's silly to put it in a Ziploc bag and then turn around and take it out of the freezer and put it in a crock pot liner. So what I'm going to do is I'm just putting it straight into the crock pot liner, and then I'm going to label it, of course, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer in a freezer bag. Hope I didn't get excited and get that too much. Probably didn't leave myself room to massage these and get these all covered, because you want this to kind of
Turn it upside down.
Well, I'm going to loosen it just a little. But I need to be able to flip these pork chops around. I guess that's, you live and learn with me. And I ripped my bag. So that tells me, this is the first time I've ever used these crock pot liners. So I think what I'm going to learn to do is just mix it up in the bowl first, and then put it in a crock pot liner, which I'm still going to use the same one, but I'm just going to mix it up in here, and that way those sharp edges of the pork chops don't puncture the crock pot liner. So I'm just kind of making sure that these are all covered. And all of this is going to go into the crock pot, and it's going to cook for, I believe they said 6 to 7 hours. And I'm going to put all these goodies in here. Get some all around there. And I'm going to close it up. I'm going to go wash my hands real quick. Close it up, and then I'm going to label it. And I'm going to let it set for 1 hour before I put it in the freezer, because they said it takes that long for the flavors to kind of get melded in there. And I'm using a small crock pot, so I'm not extremely worried about having this be too small, even though I tore it. And I'm sure there's a right way and a wrong way to put these on, and I'm probably doing it the wrong way since it came off so easy. But we're living and learning. That's kind of how I do my life. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make the other set. This time I'm just going to do it right in here so I don't have to worry about tearing my bag. And it was, onions. And I already measured my honey for the last batch in it. Let me reiterate, this is a half of a jar of cranberry sauce, and obviously you can buy it at the store. You don't have to make it homemade like I did. I just happened to get a bunch of cranberries on sale. So I thought, well, I'm just going to make a bunch of cranberry sauce because my husband loves cranberry sauce. So that's what I did. Anyway, so it's half of a can of cranberry sauce, 1/8 a cup of minced onion, and 1/8 a cup of honey. And I'm just going to mix that in here. We're not going to mess up the bag this time. So now Mom's going to put in 3 pork chops. She's going to get me a crock pot liner. These run about, if you buy them in bulk, about 100 of them for $35. So they come out to about 35 cents a piece. And I was worried that they weren't going to be big enough, but they are. And this is weird.
It's the side that opens.
Yeah, but look, this is not sealed.
Huh.
Oh yeah, it is. It's sealed on an angle. I was like, that's just going to come right out. But anyway, it's supposed to fit up to a 7-quart crock pot. But I'm just going to kind of put them over in a corner and seal it up that way. But anyway, I need 3 pork chops. And I'm going to, this time, each time
Look
she,
at
that's one, I don't want that one. That's one, I'm going to cut that up and make like sweet and sour. I wondered, I bought this big giant package at Sam's, and I wondered what was underneath, and now I know they put big giant, that's almost a pork roast. I can make that into pork roast or something. And anyway, so the pork chops that were on top look nice. So Mom's putting those in there. Go ahead and throw it in there. I'm trying to get stuff on each one while she's throwing them in there. Mom and I enjoy doing things together. We enjoy sewing. We enjoy crocheting. That's something we both love. And we like to eat our suppers together and just visiting. And it's nice and handy that we moved in next door to her. So now we can be close. So anyway, this one is done and I'm just going to make a mess. Yes, please. And I'm just going to open this and dump it. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way and wash my hand off.
I gotta go wash my hands.
Okay.
Crazy pork chop.
Yeah. So this, I'm gonna use a small crock pot, so I'm probably gonna just put this in something like this. So there you go. We just made 2 freezer meals. That didn't take very long at all. It says it's 11.5 minutes. That's not bad. So now I'm going to use my Sharpie and I'm going to label these, and then I'll put them in a freezer Ziploc bag, and we'll come back with the next recipe. We'll see you next time. Say bye, Mom.
Bye.